The American left is becoming more bipolar and more unhinged with every single passing day, man. And it's wild to watch. At the same time that Kamala Harris, their candidate for president, is literally running away from every crazy crackpot position she's ever held, the rest of them aren't running, man. They're going full speed ahead. Democrats in California, they're voting to provide the American dream in the form of home ownership to illegal immigrants, right? And Nancy Pelosi says, if you have a problem with illegals being handed the American dream, she's got the perfect solution. Just make them American. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in strong opposition to AB 1840. Before you vote on this measure, I implore you to think about what an aye vote on this bill means. If you vote aye on this bill, you are encouraging more illegal, not legal, immigration into this state. For the first time in 25 years, California is now home to the busiest illegal point of entry in the United States. Immigrants look to California's current policies like a giant welcome sign. Welcome to California, where illegal immigrants get free healthcare, free food, and now a free home with 0% down. This isn't rocket science. If you're giving out free stuff, more people are going to come. If you vote aye on this bill, you are limiting the amount of funds that go to help Californians buy homes. The Dream for All program was meant to help Californians buy homes, which ran out of funds within 2 weeks. That's how immense the demand for this program is. How fair is it then for people who have had to endure the affordability crisis in this legislature continue to not only ignore, but make it worse? How fair is it to tell those people, now you have to compete for the small number of loans amongst illegal immigrants? As a granddaughter of legal immigrants, it's not. It's not fair at all. Just because you break the law to get into this country doesn't mean you get to cut the line in front of everyone else who is desperate to buy and live in their first home. There are 1 million Californians who live in deep poverty and nearly 200,000 who live on the streets without a home. And here we are talking about giving out free home loans to illegal immigrants. Do we have no shame? This is so completely wrong, and I urge a no vote on this measure.
That's all true, man. And that bill actually freaking passed in California. California has voted to give illegal immigrants up to $150,000 towards a down payment of a home. A state with 171,000 homeless people, and the state government wants to help people that broke the law to be here buy a home. And just think of this, man. You know, when you think of politics, you know, it's been said for decades now that as California goes, so goes the nation. And if that's still true, man, just think about this kind of stuff the next time you hear one of those crackpot leftists talk about their harebrained crazy schemes to abolish the Electoral College, right? The left is literally signaling to the rest of the entire world that they're needed in America. If you need cash, you go to New York. If you need a house, you go to California. If you feel like forming an army and taking over an apartment building, sounds like Colorado might be your place. But this is not happening by accident, man. This is 100% all by design.
The California lawmakers just passed a law, it hasn't been signed by Governor Newsom, but giving government assistance to undocumented immigrants to buy houses. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a different place than the Democratic Party used to be on immigration, is it not? I'm not going to say that's what the country's going to do, but that's certainly where California is.
Well,
that is absolutely, without a doubt, exactly where California is at. And don't forget who's from California. Nancy Pelosi is very, very Californian. And, you know, Trump got asked how he's going to vote in Florida on an abortion bill. And, you know, Bill Maher should ask Nancy Pelosi how she voted on this, or if she even bothers to vote in California anymore. I don't know. But Kamala Harris, she's from California too, and I'm sure she's got an opinion on this particular ballot measure. I mean, we already know that she said crossing the border isn't really a crime in her view, and that undocumented immigrants deserve free health care. I mean, she also recently told us that her values haven't changed. Kamala Harris is California, and Bill's right. I mean, this is exactly where California is at.
Let me just say, immigration had always been a bipartisan issue. I refer you to
But not free houses.
Well, that's not free housing. It's the American dream being available to more people.
The American dream is dying, man. And it's dying because of people just like this. They've killed it. And here's the thing, man. If we want to revive the American dream, if these people want to revive the American dream, I'm all for it. But let's do it for some actual Americans. I mean, it's crazy to me, man, that these people get away with these sorts of narratives. I mean, they frame it in such a way that they're like, oh, hey, don't be selfish. It's just the American dream. Everyone deserves the American dream. When in reality, I mean, the crazy thing is most of the brainwashed folks, the whole vote blue, no matter who crew, they're going to hear that and they're not going to get upset, even though most of them, they aren't living anything anywhere near the American dream. It's completely insane.
But understand this about immigration. The best speech on immigration was by President Ronald Reagan. This is the last speech I will make as President of the United States. I want to communicate a message to the country I love. And he talked about the Statue of Liberty and the beacon of hope it is to the world, and what America was preeminent in the world because our door was always open, and we will cease to be preeminent when we shut the door. Now, I don't do justice to the great communicator. Google it. It's a fabulous speech. And George Herbert Walker Bush.
Well, I very much appreciate Nancy's fake attempt at some bipartisan love for Ronald Reagan's compassion for migrants from around the world. It reminds me of a couple things. One, Ronald Reagan granted amnesty for about 3 million children and their parents. But he did it because he was promised some pretty massive changes to border security and border enforcement. We're still waiting for most of what Reagan was promised, right? And it also reminds me of the fact that he is not responsible for the best immigration speech. Bill Clinton gave an immigration speech that I'm sure even Nancy could be very, very proud of.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Yeah, it's hard to believe how far left everything has gone, man. I mean, can you imagine a Bill Clinton trying to debate a candidate like Kamala Harris? I'd love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. But this is where they came from, man. This is who young Nancy lined up with, man. And now she's on Bill Maher simping for socialism and open borders, man. You can't make it up, man.
Continued in that respect for the diversity of America and the rest. California's always in the lead. Maybe others will follow that lead, but that's up to those states. But we're very blessed here with beautiful diversity.
So you'd vote for this law?
Excuse me?
So you'd vote for this law?
Well, I'm not familiar with exactly what it is, but making the American dream of home ownership available to all people is something we have to do for people who are here now.
This is before you're a citizen. This is undocumented. This is for the undocumented.
Well, what I would like to do is move them to documented. The fact that we can move them to documented. And one of the best things that we can do for our economy is to pass comprehensive immigration reform.
That's it right there, man. I used to call that the quiet part out loud moment, but that's not even what it is anymore. I mean, this is what they want. This is what they're actually doing. And they're not even trying to hide it anymore. The only Democrat trying to hide what the left actually wants to do, what the left actually is doing, is Kamala Harris. And she's not all that clever, man. She's not even really hiding it. She wants exactly what Nancy wants. She wants to decriminalize crossing the border. She wants to make the undocumented documented, help them buy homes, provide for their needs, allow them to do literally whatever they want, to whoever they want, wherever they want to do it, because they can, because the left can't. I mean, that is what the modern day Democrat Party wants. And here's the crazy thing, man. When you think about it, Bill Maher's actually a pretty reasonable guy. he sees how damn dumb this is. He sees that none of it makes any sense. He sees that it cannot possibly work. He's smart enough to know it's a very, very bad idea, right? And he's going to continue to vote for these people anyway. I have no idea why. He has no idea why. It's some sort of Stockholm syndrome type thing, just deep in the propaganda, but he hates their ideas and he's going to support them anyway. I mean, that is pretty scary stuff, right? And there are a lot of Bill Mahers out there in the world, but there's also a lot of Bill Maher viewers out there that are reasonable people. We can reach those people. You know, they'll see the new California law and they'll see what's happening in Colorado and they will change their minds. They will wake up, right? And it's those people we got to figure out a way to reach. But anyway, that's all I got, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.